Welcome back to my channel. Please like, comment and subscribe. Thank you.
For this full body pleated turban, we're going to be needing our fabric. That is basically what we're going to be needing. For the full body pleated turban, we'll be needing your base and also your band. But for now, let's look at our base, what we are going to be needing, the measurements. Now for the width, which is your head circumference, I'm going to be using 23 inches. That is 11.5 on fold. While for the length, I'm going to be using 23.5 inches. Note that I am using a stretchy material. That is why I can comfortably use 23 inches. The next thing we want to do is we want to mark out 1.5 inch from this top right here to the very end. But the first one, I'm going to be adding 2.5 inch. This first one here, which we are going to be attaching the band to, I'm going to be marking out 1.75 instead of 1.5 for the others. Now this is the first one, 1.75. After this first one, I'm going to continue to mark 1.5, 1.5. Now please don't be confused. 1.5 plus 1.5 is 3 inches. That is why you are seeing me mark 4.5, 4.5, 6, till you get to the very end. For this last part right here, can you see what I have is not up to what I want to take out from. This is around 2.5 or 2¼ inch. So I'm just going to be leaving it like that. The highest I can do is when I'm done with everything, I can trim out a little so that it will be even with the rest. Now what we want to do right now is we are going to be doing exactly what we did here, the same measurement that we used here, that we started 1.75 here and 1.5 for the rest. We're going to be doing it here, and after we finish doing it to this side, this other side like so, we are going to be doing it as well. I've gone ahead to mark everything, this and also this side. What I'll be doing next is I'm going to be joining them from this end right here to this end with my ruler. Now note that you can actually decide to do what, to freehand. When it comes to this turban, you can decide to freehand, yes, but I love to make mine this way because I don't know, I just believe it gives it more. I just prefer to make it this way anyway, because I've seen people actually do it with their free hand and it came out nice. Now I'm done with marking everything from one end to the other end. The next thing I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take it to my sewing machine and show you how I will be doing that. Join me. What you want to do is, now this is our first line. You are going to pick it like so. Note that this is our wrong side of the fabric, so we are going to pick it like this and just the line, that straight line that we wrote, and take it to your sewing machine like this and start sewing straight down. You will notice that I am pulling my fabric. I'm going to be giving you this tip for free. If you are working with a stretching material, and you know stretching material tends to pop, once you stretch it like this, it is very rare for it to pop. Can you see? If you just sew it without you stretching it, you see that it is going to pop easily, but stretching it like this will not make it pop. And trust me, it doesn't destroy the fabric. I make dresses with this method as well, so it doesn't destroy the fabric. The only time you can't use this method is when you are sewing a zipper on a dress, because it's going to give it bulge. Now this is what we just finished sewing, and this is what the outside looks like. So I'm going to be doing this exact same thing for the rest of the lines that we just wrote. I am done with sewing it. This is what the inside looks like, and this is the right side, this is the outside. What I want to do now before we go ahead to fix our band is, can you remember this part? I'm going to be cutting off like half an inch, and I can decide to leave it, but then I just decided that I want to cut off half an inch. So now I notched this, the middle part of this our base too. The next thing we want to do is to work with our band. I have gone ahead to cut out 12.5 inches on two different pieces of fabric. Now this is 12.5 inches by 4.5. Do you understand? If you stretch this one out, this is going to be 4.5. So I folded it, and this right here is 12.5. The same as this also, both are 12.5 by 4.5. Now you'll be wondering where the 12.5 came from. 11.5, I added 1 inch to read, that is 11.5 on fold for our base, you remember. So I just added 1 inch, 11.5 plus 1, that is 12.5, and that is in two different pieces because we want to make our V band. Now what we want to do is just take one side of your turban like so, bring this other side to like this. Do you understand? Place them on each other, overlap them. I will decide, I'm going to be pinning mine down. You can decide to not pin yours down. So after pinning it, what you want to do is just this edge here, you look at this edge here and this edge here, you are going to be let me just slant it for this tutorial 6. From this side to this side and trim it off. After trimming, you should have something like this. And what do you want to do now? You want to notch the mid part of your band. So just take this side here and this side here, and you do what? Fold it into two to get the mid parts. So now after folding it, after notching it, this is what we have for the middle part. I'm going to be going over to my sewing machine now. You can decide to first pin it down, but what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going to my sewing machine and I'm going to sew it from this place to this place, and also from this place to this place. And when I'm done, I'll come and show you guys what it looks like. This is what your V-band should look like when you finish sewing it. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and trim off excess fabric if there is excess fabric anywhere. This is what we have after trimming our excess fabric. Now remember, we said this is a full body pleated turban, and the normal measurements for the base of my own turban, I'm not talking about the band right now, excluding the band, what I use is 13 inches. Now let us look at what is here and see if it is 13 inches. We have, this is more than 13 inches. We have up to like 15 inches, which is actually not bad. But I want to teach you something. Should in case you have something that is more than 15 inches. Now this is where you are going to take it from. You can just take any point. Since I have just 15 inches, so I have 2 inches to let go. I will just go to my sewing machine and I'm going to be pleating it a little bit like so. Do you understand? So let me take it to my sewing machine and show you guys. Welcome to my sewing machine. So what am I going to be doing? Now look at me closely. Remember the lines that we made? Now I'm just going to be taking it like so, and I'm going to be, I don't know, should I call it, it's like a pleat. This is it. I'm just going to be taking like chunks. Now this is what the back looks like right now. Can you see? It feels like a pleat. It's just small. So we are going to be doing that. I'm going to be taking that line by line. The next line too, I'm going to be taking that. And that is how I'll continue pleating it until I get to the last line that we need. Now we are on the last line and we are done. Let's calculate what we have left. This is what? 13 inches. We have 13 inches, just what exactly what we need. So what I'm going to be doing next is I'm going to be folding it like so and I'm going to be joining all the way from the band to this area. I'm going to show you how I sew this side. So watch me. You remember I said I want to show you how I actually sew this side. I don't sew it straight. So what I do is this line right here, I slant my sewing to come and meet it. I don't sew it straight. I don't know how other people sew theirs, but I just believe this works better for your full body pleated turban. Now I'm done. This is what it looks like. Please be cutting your thread with scissors. It's a very bad habit using your hands. So this is what it looks like here. Can you see? And this is our turban. This is the inside, this is the outside. What I'm going to do right now is I don't have a serger, I don't have an overlocking machine. So I'm going to go to the market and make sure they help me with so it is neat. You remember that I'm always particular about your work being neat. So they are going to do all this and we are going to move to the next step. Thank you very much. I've gone ahead to weave the inside, including this part too. The next thing I want to do is I'm going to be turning it inside out. And something I've done off camera is that I've identified the middle of our turban. And what did I do? How did I do that? This side right side, I just make sure it's sleeping on the table like this or whatever surface you are using, and I used my chalk, my tailor's chalk. You can use whatever you have to identify the midpoint. So the next thing we want to do is we are going to be working with our thread and our needle. Sorry if my voice is a little bit hoarse. I have malaria and I just have to deliver this job because I promised the person already. So I'm going to take my thread and my needle and I'm going to be taking it to this last line here. Remember that last line? I'm going to be putting it inside like so. So once it is inside like this, it will come out. So you are going to be taking a pinch just right next to the turban. You are going to be putting it back inside, and as you are putting it back inside, the next line, you know, is inside now. The next line, you are going to push it out through that line again like so. Push it back inside. Remember this next line to push it again right through, and that is how you continue. I'm on the last line and that is the one that is actually joined to the band. I'm just going to do what I've been doing, push it out like so and then push it back inside. Now after pushing it like so, you're not going to just tie it like this. You are going to ensure that this place, yes, something like this, make it very tight, and you are going to be joining this part you join to the band and your very first line. Remember that very first line that was slanted? You are just going to be taking your thread and your needle and you are going to be pushing it through it, and we have this. You can tie it again. You can hold it together like this to make sure that you get the result that you want. Now I'm going to cut off the thread and needle, but just for security sakes I'm still going to tie it again like so. And at this point I'll cut off my thread, my remaining thread. The next thing you want to do is, any turban maker knows this, we want to gather this back. Just leave maybe after your band leave like an inch or half an inch, and you are going to gather. This is the back of your turban, this is it. You are going to gather all the way from this 1 inch that you left after the band to the topmost part of the turban. Now after gathering it, just pull it well and hold it like this so that there will not be any space in between any, and I'm going to be tying it off. I'm going to go again and tie it off, and just like I did for the one in front, I am going to be doing the same thing for the one at the back as well, making sure it is secure. So I'm going to cut it off. Now we are done with our base. Let's get to our design now. Now this is what I'll be using to design it. I bought this flower in the market and it was sold to me at 6,000 naira. I don't know how much that is in dollars, but that is how much they sold it here. Some people sell it 7,000 naira, but in fact someone told me 5,000 naira, but she didn't have. But eventually, because I was in dire need of it, I had to buy it. Now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to look for the right place that I want to place this design, and that is, I'm just going to, some people will use gum, but I'm not a fan of gum at all. I don't like using gum for my works. If you are a fan of gum, don't be angry, but that's just who I am. I just prefer to tack it down with my thread and my needle. What I can do, even if I want to use gum at all, is I'll first gum it down, and then I'll still use my thread and my needle to tack it. That's what I can do, but I'm not going to be leaving it. I'm not going to be trusting my gum with it. So I'm going to pin it down so I can know what it looks like. Just pin it down at different places so that you can see what it looks like before you tack it down with your thread and your needle. So I'm going to be doing that for the whole design. This is it. I'm done with pinning it down, but then I cut off something, so I'm going to be placing it somewhere around here just to give it a razzle dazzle. So I intentionally didn't pin it down so that I want to show you guys that you can actually cut off. Can you see? I actually cut this part. You can cut off and then put it somewhere else if you feel that it's maybe too much for that part that it landed on. So I cut off, and then I'm going to be pinning it down just like I pinned the rest down. It's time to sew it, and I'm going to be using my hand thread and needle to sew it down. So you can just start from anywhere. Let me start from this end here. So you're just going to be taking pinches, and you have to make sure that you use matching thread and needle. So I'll just be sewing it along the edges like so. If you want to use gum, it's just the same thing. Look at the way it is placed and check if you like it once you pin it down, and then start applying gum to it. Just be opening it like so, apply gum, so that you won't place it wrongly when you remove everything completely. Just open it like this, place gum here. Then when that place is dried, open another place until you finish applying the gum. So I'm just going to continue sewing along this the edges like so. So this is the result after my sewing everything. I'm sorry I couldn't finish the process. Remember I told you I was sick. So this is what it looks like outside, and this is what it looks like inside. Definitely the thread will show, but just make it minimal. Thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.